Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Whizbits Random Topics. It's going to be a pickups video today. Haven't done one in quite a while, so I've got quite a few bits to go through. Even though I haven't really been buying in mass quantities or anything like that recently. It's like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so there's quite a few things to go through, and apologies in advance if there's some things I might have shown on the channel previously. Like I say, it's been a while, so I just went through stuff that I think I've picked up over the last few months, or roughly since the last time I've done one of these videos, and I think I've got most of it. And like I said, there's a couple of things here that I've made you aware of in the past. My apologies, I don't really keep track too much. Just a quick minute of your time, just to let you guys know, we do now offer memberships on the channel. They start from as little as 99p a month. Anything that comes in financially to the channel, I can assure you, does not go into my pocket. It goes towards giveaways on the channel when YouTube finally decides to give me some kind of payout. It's not mandatory, it's just a way to show your support. We'll still make the content regardless on the channel. We give you perks. When joining, you will get some perks. You'll get early access to every episode of the Random Retro podcast as and when it's available. We'll also have some extra content as well that I'm working on right now. You as a member will also have early access to. That will include unfinished business episodes that have currently taken a bit of a hiatus. I do plan on getting back on top of that subject at some point towards the end of this year. Anyway, we've also got a Facebook group as well. I'd like to urge you to come on over, check it out. It's a really cool place where we post random game of the day, retro game of the day, deal of the day, some great conversations happening over there regarding all sorts of pop culture stuff. It's just somewhere where we can chill out on Facebook and discuss our hobby and our interests. So if you're on Facebook, you could do a lot worse, so come on over, join the group. You'll be most welcome. Start with the pickups today. So yeah, got a few bits to go through today. I'm looking down here at what I've got. We've got some PS2, we've got some PS3, some PS4, PS5, one solitary Xbox 360 game, some OG Xbox, some Nintendo Switch, and quite a few Wii U games, as I haven't really given you guys an update on where I am on the Wii U full set collection. We'll talk more about that as I get to that area, but we'll start with the PlayStation 2 stuff. Right, so on the PlayStation 2, quite a few games I've picked up recently. I keep saying to myself, I'm done on the PlayStation 2, except for, you know, a couple of really expensive and obscure games, but then I keep finding stuff when I'm out and about and picking it up. Now, the first game I'm going to show you is when I was out with my friends James and Roy. This game is a prime example of that. A game I probably didn't really need, and in a lot of ways didn't really want, but it just looks really cool. It was really cheap, and I thought, why not? It was in really nice condition, and that game is on the PS2, Retro. Now, Retro is basically, from what I can work out, 8 retro-based arcade-type games, and they're all rip-offs of other games like Space Invaders, Pac-Man. I mean, Pac-Man on here was called Gobbler, Bubble Puzzle, you know, Hopper, which I think is a rip-off of Frogger. And I think I got this for something like £4. I think this CEX is probably around about £3. But I was out and about and I wanted to buy some games whilst I was actually in the Retro Hunter on the day, so I just added this to the pile. Now, I can say I've played it within the first week of me getting it. It is pretty terrible, to be fair, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to play it again. I don't know, maybe I will. But yeah, Retro on the PS2. Now here's one, I always thought this was just a bunch of ROMs chucked onto a PlayStation 2 disc. It's only when I noticed someone talking about it on my Facebook page. Shout out to my mate Tommy 10 Ton, big up yourself mate, it was you that purchased this. And I thought nothing of it. And then it was my friend Rob that mentioned in the comments there. I'll leave a link to Rob's YouTube channel as well and his Instagram somewhere in the video bio, video description. Great tasting games. If you're on Instagram, I definitely highly recommend you check him out. Every day he's posting some absolutely quality titles. It's like a real return to your childhood and games that you just think, wow, I forgot that existed. But yeah, Rob was mentioning that this isn't just a bunch of ROMs. What it is, it's remasters, and I wasn't actually aware of that. So I've passed up on this game for the longest time, and with that in mind, I saw it when I was in Woolwich recently at CEX and thought I'd pick it up. And that game is the Sega Classics Collection. Now on this you've got Columns, Outrun, Golden Axe, Virtual Racer, Space Harrier, Fantasy Zone, Monaco GP, and there's a game here that I can't quite fathom out.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Sorry for the jump cut there, it was Bonanza Bros. Didn't really play that one much. That's probably the only game I'm not overly familiar with on the entire compilation. So I've gone through this. I've tried every single one of these out. And Columns is Columns. What can you do with Columns? I mean, you either like it or you don't. It's Columns. Can't really get that wrong. Virtual Racing was okay. The rest of the games on here are like Sega just let work experience kids at the age of 16 that had a bit of an idea loose on some of their biggest franchises, their biggest IPs. Now the one I'm thinking of the most is Golden Axe. It has to be played to be believed at just how bad Golden Axe is on this. It's worth playing just for the giggles alone, to be quite honest with you. It's a pretty bad game. All in all, I'm quite happy to own it. It's definitely something, but yeah, not the greatest compilation, and definitely a dark time in Sega's history when they was putting out stuff like this. Right, next one, another compilation. This time I'm very pleased to say one of a much higher quality ratio, and I picked this one up from my friend Adam over at PS2 Mini Games recently. He gave me a good deal on this one, and you don't see it too often, and it is the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. Now I've got the first one, and you see the first one fairly frequently when you're out in retro shops, CEXs, eBay, etc, etc, but the second one not so much. So when I saw Adam was selling this, I jumped straight on it. Some of the games on this one, you've got 1941, The Avengers, Black Tiger, Block, Captain Commando, Eco Fighters, Knights of the Round. You've got Knights of Dragons, Last Duel, Mega Twins, Magic Sword, Quiz and Dragons, Sidearms. Oh, I love that game. Sidearms is an absolute classic. The Speed Rumbler, one I'm not familiar with actually. Street Fighter Part 1, no thanks. Street Fighter 2, Turbo. We've also got Strider, we've got Three Wonders, Tiger Road, and Varth. Most of the games on here are brilliant, and they're straight from the arcade. They're the arcade ROMs put onto the disc, which is fantastic. I've played for a number of these games already since picking this one up from Adam, so shout out to Adam over at PS2 Mini Games for hooking me up with this one at a really good price. Speaking of games I picked up from friends, I picked this one up from a friend of mine over at the Ghetto Gang Discord. Shout out to Callum over at the Retro Ghetto. He's created a really good Discord over at Discord, obviously, and lots of people over there looking after one another, and I managed to pick this one up for voucher price, which would be, I think, around about £6. I'm really pleased with it. It comes complete, it's with manual, and really good condition, and I love my shmups, so I was really pleased to finally find this game, and that is Gunbird on the PS2. Gunbird, brilliant series. I've got it on a number of systems, but it's always eluded me with the manual on PS2, so to pick this one up for £6, I was very, very pleased. Another game I picked up recently when I was out in Woolwich, and that is Dragon's Lair 3D. Another one that's always eluded me without the manual, but I managed to find it on the day. I've been playing this one, and it's Dragon's Lair. It's difficult, but what makes it more difficult, and I don't know if it's me or what, but this game, even though it is PAL and it's in full English on the box and everything, I think I've been given some kind of French disc. Because even in the startup guide to the game, I can't seem to put this game back in English. It doesn't really affect the gameplay much at all, but you know, that learning curve of when you're going through that online tutorial and it's telling you what button does what, etc., that was a bit of a challenging step. As is the rest of the game. Like I said, it's Dragon's Lair. I don't think I've ever played an easy port of Dragon's Lair, and this is no exception, but still happy to have this one. I wanted it on Xbox at one point, but when I saw it on the PlayStation 1 surprisingly is a couple of pounds cheaper, so to see it with the manual, I thought, why not, let's get it on the day. Another one I picked up recently when I was in Tottenham Court Road, which isn't too far from where I work on a day-to-day basis. Unfortunately, no manual with this one, but it's fine. I can live without it because it's not a game you see too often, and that is Mega Man X7. Now, I've heard numerous things about this game, some good, mostly averageness, and some quite bad. I've not got round to playing this one yet, so I'll let you guys know. I might actually do some gameplay video of this one at some point. Mega Man is something that's sorely missed on my channel, even though it is one of my favourite franchises. Sorry, Mr. Sega Zombie. I know if you do happen to see this, you're going to be shaking your head right now. I picked this one up at the London gaming market recently, and it's not a game I really cared for or anything like that, but it was so shiny, it was so nice to look at, I couldn't say no, and I'm not really going to talk too much about it, but it is Space Invaders Anniversary. It was so clean. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but I think I picked this one up for something like £3, and it's full, the disc is really clean, and yeah, really happy to own this one. It just looks nice. And final PS2 game that I've picked up as of late is KO the Kangaroo, the boxing kangaroo. This is a franchise that I've never actually tried, and it's one that I'm keen to do so in the near future. I've got lots of games that I'm currently playing, so it's not at the top of the list, but definitely going to be playing this at some point soon. To the Wii U stuff, just to give you guys an update, I'm standing at around about 122 games on the Wii U right now. I have slowed down. It's getting a lot more difficult to find the games that I need when out and about, because you do see a lot more common titles when you're out and about, and I just haven't really had the urge to go ahead and keep collecting as much as I wanted to. I'm in no rush with this collection. I'm really not. I want something to keep me, I don't know, what's the term I'm kind of looking for? To keep me motivated, yeah, when I'm out and about. So I like to have one or two collections that I'm looking to buy. So if I'm out and around filming in a CEX or a retro game shop and I don't see anything on the day that I'm particularly fond of, these are kind of like my fallback ideas. Games that I'm currently collecting, subsets, full sets, anything like that, because if I tend to go out with these on the back burner, it normally means that whatever happens on the day, it's not going to be a wasted journey. So let's go through the Wii U games anyway. We've got Rodea, the Sky Soldier. Now I've got this on the Wii that actually comes with a Wii U version as well, but it felt like it was cheating adding that one to my Wii U full set. So yeah, I've picked this one up. Rise of the Guardians. I have no idea what kind of game this is, and that's going to be the case with a lot of the games that I pick up on the system. Now, a game I've got on practically 2 or 3 other systems, and that's Terraria. Is that how you pronounce it? I've played this on the 360 and the PS3. Good game. Couple of pounds, something like that. But for whatever reason, it goes for around about £15 on the Wii U. I picked this one up recently from Miso Games. Shout out to Luke over there at Miso. He gave me a price that I was quite happy with. Couple of pounds cheaper than everywhere else. So fair play to him. Shout out to Miso Games. Great shop. I will leave a link to his website in the video description below. Shout out to Retro Ed, he picked this one up for me recently when he was on a trip in London. Ninja Gaiden 3. Now I've got this on about 7 systems, but still it needed to be done. Shout out to Alex, E-Star Gamer. There's a couple of games I've picked up from him recently. I believe that Rodea and the Rise of the Guardians were 2, and this is another one I picked up from him, and that is The Croods, which is a kind of Mario Party type family mini game type saga. I don't know. I enjoyed the film. It wasn't a bad animated movie, so I don't know. Will I play this one? Possibly. The mini game genre does get played quite a bit in our household. So yeah, if we choose not to play Mario Party and we're looking for an alternative, this one's not bad. Shout out to Retro Ed again for picking up this one for me. Funky Barn. We've got this one that I also believe come from Alex E-Star Gamer, and that is The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Again, I have no idea what kind of game this is. I'm in no hurry to find out either. Now, 2 that I picked up on my recent trips to CEX, and I actually thought I had these games, if I'm honest with you. That is, firstly, Darksiders. Now, this one is the War Mastered Edition. I thought I had this, but going through the app that I use to track my gaming purchases, no, I didn't. And then you have Darksiders 2. So yeah, good progress on the Wii U collection. Like I said, I'm standing at around about 122 right now, leaving me with around about 40 games, just over 40 left to collect. Some of those are going to be quite easy to pick up, such as some of the Just Dance games that I've been deliberately ignoring, as we've been going in and out of the shops. But I'm going to go and do a deep dive at some point and just go out and smash all the Just Dance games and add them to the collection. It's got to be done if I'm going to hit that full set. It's just having the time or being motivated to go out and do it with the spare time that I have. We have one GameCube game, and that is Zoo Cube, which I believe is a puzzle type game. I don't really buy many GameCube games, to be quite honest with you, and I think I picked this one up at Nerdbase recently when I was out with a couple of friends, James and Roy. I think I picked it up for something like £2, £3. It's about the same price it goes for at CEX. Now, the odd thing about this one is it comes with a blue case, so I'm going to swap it over with the traditional GameCube black, and I'll keep this as a spare Wii U case or for something else. But yeah, it's a little bit annoying with this blue. Right, we'll get into the Nintendo Switch stuff now. And the first thing I'm going to show off isn't a game. It's something that had its ups and downs making its way to me. So, like many people, I pre-ordered this. I already own the game, and Strictly Limited Games quickly offered, because of its success, some kind of steelbook for the game that you could either purchase with the second run, or you could purchase it as an additional item to go with your game that you originally purchased. And that is Iron Meat, if you haven't already guessed. Problem is, everyone was getting their copies. Mine was going back to Germany, and mine was going all over the place. Royal Mail couldn't deliver, and it was an absolute mess. And eventually I did manage to talk to the guys at Strictly Limited Games, or the people that posted it. I don't think it was directly them, and even they was confused at the time, but I left it to the point because I couldn't find where the item was. So eventually I knew it would go back. That was what was said on the note, the letter that had been left by Royal Mail. By this certain date, your item will go back, and that's what happened. So we had a conversation, and they said get in touch by this day. If it hasn't come back, we'll sort something out. If it has, we will resend. Now, lucky for me, it had returned, and they sent me the steelbook for Iron Meat. Now it looks really nice. Some great detail on the back here of the level 3 boss, I believe. But you know what? I'm going to say it now, and I haven't heard anyone say this. The quality of this is not great. It's not a steelbook at all. It's very like tinny plastic, and I highly recommend, if you've got this or you buy something like this, that you need to put it in some kind of box protector. Now, where I have it located, I don't think I really need one, but yeah, this is going to get scratched up big time. So back into the Switch games now, and not accessories, etc, etc. We picked up Kimono Heroes. I picked this one up after my friend Dylan, Hyper Trigger X, he was talking about it for a while. And then I saw Callum over at Retro Ghetto was playing it on his post gameplay credit, and it's definitely a bit of me. I've played through the majority of this game, and I will finish it soon. It's in my pile of Switch games that I keep to hand down, and we'll get through this. Game change kind of, but nevertheless, it's a very enjoyable experience. Now I picked this one up recently, Air Twister. It was about £8 on the day. It's gone back up to £10. It's the best way to describe this game, Air Twister, is it's like a mobile game knockoff of Space Harrier. It's not bad. I've played halfway through it, and I don't think it's a bad game at all. I might have been a little bit annoyed if I was to have paid full price on something like this, but for the £8 I think I paid for it on the day, or £10 max, I'm quite happy to have this game. It's just, it pays homage to Space Harrier. What more can I say? It does it quite decently, but it does feel like it's kind of a mobile game. But yeah, Air Twister on the Switch, really happy to have it in the collection regardless. It's not something I personally see when I'm out shopping too often. So I saw like 3 copies in the same shop that day, which was quite odd. I picked one up, and I know my friend Roy did the following day. So yeah, there you go. For the same shop, actually, sorry, not the same shop, CEX 1 minute away, because there are 2 in Tottenham Court Road, one at next to Warren Street Station, sorry, Goode Street Station, and then you've got the original CEX, which is Rathbone Place. So same day, I always, if I'm in that area, I'm always going to drop into both of them. I picked this one up. I already owned it digitally, but we've got the Namco Museum Arcade Pack. Now, I thought this was only available digitally. I didn't know there was a physical version of this. And the games are good on it. There's some real good classic games. But for me to own Splatterhouse and Rolling Thunder on a physical cartridge from my Nintendo Switch made this an absolute no-brainer. Switch 2. I own one game, Mario Kart World. I'm not going to say much more about it. It's Mario Kart. I'm looking to get Donkey Kong Bonanza, but do you know what? I finished Donkey Kong Country Returns not too long ago. I played through that, so I don't really have the urge to play through a Donkey Kong game right now. So I don't really want to go out and buy it just yet, despite how decent it looks. I'll stick with just this one for now. It's been a bit of a slow start for the Switch 2, but I know the system will come good. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. I picked this one up a couple of days ago. It came out only this week actually, or so late last week maybe, and that is Fading Afternoon. This one I've played a couple of hours of over the last couple of days. It comes with a really lovely instruction manual that also doubles up as some kind of comic book. A real nice touch, to be quite honest with you, and it's very much like a Yakuza type game, but just basically scaled down into 2D sprite action. And it's really good. It's a beautiful game to look at. The music on it is fantastic. It's one of the nicest experiences I've had recently playing a video game. However, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to get into this game. I need to definitely put a lot more hours into this game before I definitely see the majority of the game and get the experience that I believe I've paid for. But I highly recommend picking this one up, guys. Check out a YouTube trailer for it if you haven't heard of this game. Fading Afternoon. Pick this one up from where did I pick this one up? Super Rare Games. I had it on pre-order for some time, and it came through, and it's a brilliant game. Very difficult, but it's definitely the sort of thing I like. Modern retro, 8-bit style graphics, and that is Cyber Shadow. Now, I've really enjoyed playing this game, and like most games of this nature, it starts off fairly easy. You're enjoying yourself, but then you kind of hit a brick wall, which is kind of where I am with it at the moment. I will definitely be returning to this game because this is my sort of game all over. Cyber Shadow, if you can find a copy of this at a reasonable price, because I believe the pre-orders sold out. It's on PS5 as well. Pick this one up if you like your modern retro. You will not be disappointed. I picked this one up only the other day for around about £8. I don't know if I'm even going to like this game because it's like Jet Set Radio, and I'm not the biggest Jet Set Radio fan, but for £8, if you're going to offer me a Switch game brand new and sealed, I'm going to take it 9 times out of 10 anyway. And that is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Is it Cyberpunk? Cyberfunk, sorry. Don't really know what I'm talking about with this game. It's been on my radar a little bit. I've seen it, but I've never thought about actually buying it. It comes with some pretty cool graffiti stickers inside. Yep, that's fine. Just drop them on the floor and rip them, why don't you? But like I said, it was £8 sealed, and it's another game to the Switch collection. I love collecting for the Switch, so the majority of the time, if you offer me a game at that price on that system, I'm going to probably pick it up. This is an odd one. It's got a bit of a checkered history, this one, and that is Them Fighting Herds. This was £6 at the time at CEX, and I mentioned it on one of my Switch games videos where I recommend a number of games that you can pick up for under £15. It's an odd game, but it's got a lot of bang for its buck. You know, there's RPG elements, but not overkill. But at its core, it's a fighting game, a one-on-one fighter. and you're basically using My Little Pony rip-offs. Hasbro tried to take these guys to court when they were making the game, so it was altered and changed many times, but eventually they got past all of that and they got the game out. And underneath this whole stupidity of the whole thing, this has actually got quite a complex fighting system to the game. So yeah, I would pick this one up if you definitely see it at the price that I paid anyway, which was £6. We picked up Nintendo World Championships recently. Had a bit of a story with this one. We bought it direct from Nintendo and they sent it with no game inside it, which was odd. That was my Father's Day present from my kids. I thought they were pranking me because that's the sort of thing that they would normally do. However, on this occasion, no, Nintendo, on the same week that they sent me a Switch 2 that didn't work, they sent me this without a game in. I was thinking that someone at Nintendo had seen all of my ROMs or something like that, and the Nintendo ninjas were out to get me. But we've replaced it, and I'll be honest, I haven't really had a chance to play this one, but it could be something that we play on the Random Retro podcast down the line. Right, let's get into the one solitary Xbox 360 game that I've picked up recently. It's been quite difficult recently to pick up games. I think one that I haven't picked up was Under Defeat. I haven't got that to hand to show you. And other than that, I've picked up at the London Gaming Market, I picked up Monster Madness. Is it Battle for Suburbia? Don't see this one often, and I got this at Sore Thumb's stall at the Gaming Market. It's complete, it's got everything in it, and they've done it at a decent price. Sometimes some of these stalls are quite hard to haggle at. Some just don't like it, which is fair enough. Some are just downright dismissive of you if you ask anything. A couple of staff at Sore Thumbs are like that from my experience. I think I got lucky on the day. The person I dealt with, they knocked £1 or £2 off of this, and I think I got it for 15. I think they had it for around about 16 or 17. So heading on to PS4 games, we picked up Killzone Shadowfall. I'm never going to play this game. It was £2.50 and it's a really nice steelbook. Not much more to say about that, but £2.50 for a steelbook, I'm never going to leave this one on the shelf. Now I'm going for a full set of these games I've currently decided, and like I said earlier in the video, it's so I've got something to fall back on if I go to shops and there's nothing that I like on the day, and that subset is going to be the Ratchet and Clank games. So this one is Ratchet and Clank on the PS4, which I believe is kind of like a reset of the whole subset, the whole genre of games, the franchise should I say. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be one of the starting points when I actually play these games. Ratchet and Clank is a gaming series that I've put very little time into over the years. I'm not the biggest 3D platform fan, but I'm open to trying these games, and yeah, definitely looking forward to giving this one a go alongside similar games like the Jak and Daxter series. We picked up recently Cotton Fantasy for £9. I've got it on the Switch, didn't have it on the PS4. I double dipped because it was so cheap. And then we've got these two games that I picked up from France. And these games are around about £42 if you look at CEX. But I managed to pick these ones up for £16 each. And I think with postage it came to £40 all in all. And that is Metal Slug Double X, which is double hard. I've done a video of this one, me playing all the way through it. I'll be posting that at some point in the next week or two. It's up there with the most deaths I've ever had in any video game. If not ever, it's definitely the most I've died in a game since the last time I played another Metal Slug. It's notoriously difficult, but fun nevertheless. And the other one, for the same price I picked up, was the Metal Slug Anthology. Now I was really pleased to pick this one up at such a cheap price, £16 plus the postage. So all in all, I think £21 each or £20.50 for a pair of them, when these games pretty much go for double that when you see them in the UK. Right, we're going to go through some OG Xbox stuff now. I've really enjoyed collecting for the system in recent months and weeks. Couple of these, nothing major in this collection here, but these are just nice little cheap pickups to fill out the collection, as I'm really enjoying getting to grips with the system. It's something I don't have a great deal of nostalgia for, but I'm really discovering a love for the OG Xbox. So the first thing is Spartan Total Warrior. Picked this one up for like £2 at Nerdbase. I love the artwork, and I'll probably play this one at some point as well. I'm going to have an OG Xbox night at some point soon, where I'm just going to pick a load of games off the shelf and just go through them. And this one is definitely going to be in the list, as is many of the other ones here that I'm going to show you. Armed and Dangerous. We picked this one up from Retro Giant in Romford at £5. Shout out to Roy, my friend who pops on the Random Retro podcast. We call him Rob, we call him Roy, we call him Bob, all sorts of names, because apparently we do forget him, or I do anyway. I don't really, Roy, I always remember you. But yeah, he recommended this one to me. Now, Roy's got a bit of a habit of sometimes recommending some games that are dubious, to say the least. But this one looks pretty good, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of this one. Again, another Roy recommendation. Again, we've got another Roy recommendation here, and that is Nightcaster. We picked this one up from the same shop, Retro Giant. Shout out to Lucy, shout out to Steve. Great shop in Romford. They've also got a second branch in Brentwood if you're ever in the area. Again, this was only £5. It's in such nice condition as well. Similar price to what you pay in a CEX, but at least I knew I was going to be giving something back to an independent shop and getting the game in brilliant condition. We've got Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Now, I picked this one up off of Roy, who I mentioned earlier, who might have been called Bob at the time, or something else, I don't know, sometimes I forget him. But he sorted me out this one because he already had a copy of it and picked it up mistakenly, and that is the Tecmo Classic Arcade Collection. Now, the fact that this has got Bomb Jack on it sold me straight away, and Rygar. It's not got too many other great games on it in my opinion, but Bomb Jack alone sold me this one. Bomb Jack was one of the biggest games of my childhood, and I'm looking forward to playing that one again. Shout out to Coxie over at One Up Gaming. He sorted me out this one at the London Gaming Market, and that is Judge Dredd. Now, this copy is so shiny and clean. I've got to say, Coxie at One Up Gaming, everything on his stall, whenever I see him at the London Gaming Market, is always the highest quality. There's nothing there that looks like it's been picked up from some sort of house sale or anything like that. And this was no exception. When I saw this, it's a game I've been interested in, but nothing I was dying to buy. But it was just too shiny to leave behind at the price that he was offering it for. So yeah, big yourself up, mate. Well happy with that one. We've got Conan with its questionable art style here. Yeah, it's supposedly Conan. I don't know. But this was like a £5. The guy at the London Gaming Market was trying to sell it to me for something like £13. I walked away. He said 7 or 8, and I said I'm just not interested. And then when he said £5, I had a £5 in my hands, and I didn't want to be going to the cash point to grab anything else. So when he offered me that for a £5, I thought, you know what, for £5, yeah, I'll take that in the collection. We've got Cell Damage. I actually want to play this game. I think I've got it on the GameCube as well, but it's a game I've never really played. I've seen plenty of videos about it over the years, and it's just something I've never actually had the opportunity to play. We picked this one up at Nerdbase, and I think I got this ridiculously cheap, a lot cheaper than what you would see in your average retro game shop or CEX. So that was the day when I thought, you know what, for that money, yeah, I'll pick this one up. And last but definitely not least, on the OG Xbox, shout out to my friend Joe over at Super Smash Gaming YT. Joe's been selling a few of her bits recently, and she gave me a great deal on this one posted, and that is Obscure on the OG Xbox. Now, I like my horror games, and this is one that I've been after for some time, but every time I tend to see it, it just doesn't have the manual. And I can't bring myself to be paying £20, £25 or whatever it normally goes for without a manual. So I thought I'd just bide my time. And I'm really glad that I did, because Joe sold me this at I think £16 posted. And this is high on the list of games that I'm going to be playing in the near future. Right, so we're going to finish off with some PlayStation 3, some PlayStation 5. Yeah, that's what I've got left. And as I've said, I'm going for the Ratchet & Clank series. So we've got Ratchet & Clank Q-Force, which I'm reliably informed is one of the worst games in the whole subset. But if you're going to buy them all, it doesn't matter. It's also broken. We've picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Danger of Use on the PS3. Picked this one up from the London gaming market, again really cheap, so it was just to make up the numbers. And yeah, it's a Turtles game. I like to collect as many Turtles games as I can. I don't have high expectations for this one, but you know, it can't be that bad, can it? Now, speaking of games that are that bad, I picked this one up with that sole purpose because I know it's bad, and that is Ride to Hell. I don't even know why I bought this. No, I do know why I bought this, and a lot of it is down to the Angry Joe video from many years ago I found hilarious at the time at how bad this game is. And yeah, I had to pick this one up. Ride to Hell Retribution. Highly recommended as well by my friend Ross over at Bahaha. He does love a bad game, and he told me if I ever get the urge to play a bad game, I could do a lot worse than this one. Another Ratchet & Clank game, and it is All for One. Again, another game that's quite different and not something that falls within the normal genre that the games find themselves set out in. But like I say, I've got to pick them all up. I'm going for the subset, so that's why we've got this one. Now to some PlayStation 5. We picked up 2K23 NBA. Now the reason for this, the only reason I picked this one up in all honesty is because of its sleeve. And it's the Jordan sleeve. I absolutely think this is lovely to look at. Iconic. I'm not a huge basketball fan, and for that reason I don't really buy basketball games. But that alone just said I had to pick it up, and I think it was about £8, and it's pristine. You know, this one is something that's you could display quite easily. Really happy with this one. I think it's the only time I've ever purchased a basketball game other than NBA Jam on a Super Nintendo and been very happy about it. One I picked up, or re-picked up the other day when I was out with Roy in Uxbridge, was Back 4 Blood. Now, I know this game got a lot of stick when it came out. It's the sort of spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, and a lot of people were very disappointed in it, and the price came down very, very quickly. I didn't think it was as bad as some people made out, but again, yeah, I was quite bored of it, and I traded it quite early on. However, I had a bit of regret about that, and I wanted the steelbook back that I originally purchased, and I managed to find a really nice copy of the steelbook because I've always liked this steelbook, to be quite honest with you. I think this is a really nice one. It does leave a little bit to be desired on the back, there's nothing there, but yeah, it's a lovely steelbook, and there's no dents or anything like that in it. So yeah, I'm really happy to pick this one up. It was something like £6 as well, and for a nice piece like this in great condition, that was the day it was going to come home once again. And the final thing I've got here today was a present from my friend James. He picked this one up for me after I noticed it out and about, and I wanted one particular version but couldn't find it. He found it, sent it to me, and I'm very thankful for it, and that is Predator Hunting Grounds. I've had it for months, probably not long after my last video, and I just haven't played it. Don't really have much intention of playing it. I never did. But why did I buy it, or why was I looking to buy it? Because of this. How cool is that sleeve? Absolutely love that. It's not a very expensive game either, but CEX kind of normally just have this kind of version out and about, and not the one that you see here. Now it still costs the same price, so I was always going to be picking this one up. I'm kind of slowing down on what I pick up recently, and that's because I've got a couple of trips lined up, so I want to kind of put some money aside and maybe pick up a couple of games that I've been looking out for when I go to those trips. So yeah, that's what I've got recently. Nothing amazing, but one man's gold is another man's rubbish, and vice versa. Anyway, thank you as always for watching. I'll see you next week on a game hunt. Like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care for now.